Hi all, welcome to Philosophy B10, the summer version. My name is Brian Russell. I'll be your instructor for this semester. In this video, I'm going to go over the syllabus first, how to find all the course content on the Bakersfield College website. Then I'll go over the syllabus and expectations and the schedule for the class, so how things will be rolling out for our 6 weeks together. So without further ado, let me jump in. So to get to the course website, you're going to first go to bakersfieldcollege.edu. You go to Inside BC up here in the top left corner. And then you'll go to a link that says My Courses. It'll be a drop-down menu. And that'll have it should contain the classes that you're enrolled in, at least for the summer and maybe for the fall as well. So we're going to go to our Introduction to Ethics course. And that will land you on this page, or it should. So note, this landed me on the modules page, and that will be the main source, the main portal to all the information you need to the course. But for right now, we're going to go to the syllabus page. So over here on the left-hand side, you'll see a whole bunch of links where you can get to grades and assignments and things like that. You really mostly need the modules page, but let's go to the syllabus page for now, and I'll just go over it point by point. So it has my name. My office hours are by appointment. I really am happy to make appointments to talk to you, whether that be via a phone call or if you want to make a Zoom meeting to talk about something more like face-to-face. I'm happy to do that as well. If you want to meet with a few people and do like a study group and have me attend, I'm open to that as well. I'm pretty flexible right now. You can reach me at brian.russell@bakersfieldcollege.edu. That's the only method of contact I list because it's by far the best. I try to get back to people within 2 days. That can get a little bit longer on weekends, but during the week I try to get back to people within 2 days. If you send me an email and I haven't gotten back to you within 2 days, then please send me another email and say, hey, I sent you this email. It must have fallen through the cracks. Do you mind answering it? I'll take no offense to that. Stuff falls through the cracks during these semesters. They get really hectic, especially towards the end. So if I miss something and you want me to get back to you, just send me an email a couple days later. Don't feel worried about that at all. So the course description, examination of the philosophical approach to morality, study of the meaning of ethics and morality and methods used in ethical theorizing and reasoning, emphasizes major ethical issues and theories, instructs how to set up an ethical system. That's pretty good. You'll get a little bit more from me on that when we go over the course schedule. Excuse me. The student learning outcomes. You'll be able to understand and demonstrate your understanding of ethical theories. Apply ethical theories to a problem. Analyze ethical theories and critique them. And analyze ethical issues. Yeah, that's good. All right, so you'll need one book for this course. That book is The Elements of Moral Philosophy by James and Stuart Rachels. I put there any edition. There are slight modifications per edition. I think right now we're on the 8th edition. The closer you can get to the 8th edition, the better. However, there is a free PDF of the text online, and you can find it. If you put the title of this text in free PDF, you'll probably be able to find it through Google. The edition that floats around is the 4th edition. There's almost no problem with that. The only slight problem is that there's one chapter in egoism in the 8th edition. There are actually 2 chapters on egoism in previous editions. So instead of it just being chapter 5 in the 8th edition, it's 5 and 6 in earlier editions. So that throws the chapter numbers off a little bit, but it's not something you can't overcome. You'll know the topic that we'll be studying, and your chapter might be one chapter later if you're using that edition. Plus, with that edition is it's totally free. Online, you can access it immediately if you can find it, and it's very easy to find. If not, if you prefer regular copies, I think they have some in the bookstore, or you can probably find them pretty cheaply. Let's see what they're looking like right now. Here's one for 14 bucks. Here's one for $4. Scroll down and see what we see. The 7th edition. All right, so you can apparently now find the 7th edition just by entering the name of the book into Google a few links down. So you should have no problem getting the book. There will be additional readings, usually article length additional readings. I'll provide those through Canvas in the modules section. I lay out the modules so that you can just go down the line and check things off. So if there's a reading that's not in the textbook for the week, that will be the first thing in the module, and then you'll have the reading quizzes, etc. And I'm about to go over that. So the text should be no problem. So the course requirements, there will be 2 exams. One you'll have to turn in at the end of the 3rd week, and one you'll have to turn in at the end of the 6th week in this course. There'll be a combination of multiple choice, and you'll have to write 1 essay. So there'll be about 35 multiple choice questions worth about 2 points each, totaling 70 points, and then there'll be an essay question worth 30 points. Expect about a page and the equivalent of a page and a half to 2 pages of written response to those essay questions. I give you a comprehensive study guide a week ahead of when you have to turn the test in. That study guide includes sections that you should study so that you're ready for the multiple choice questions, and it includes 2 or 3 essay questions that either I'll assign or you'll be able to choose from to write your essay. Since we're doing this class online, you can write your essay ahead of time. You can do it in a Word document so that when you open the test, you just copy and paste it over to the answer field for the essay question. Since we are taking this online, I can't monitor you taking the test. However, make sure that the essay answers are your own words and your own ideas. That if you're using online sources, you cite them. Plagiarism happens even in an ethics class, amazingly enough. And please do not. I really don't like filling out that paperwork. It's bad for me. It's bad for you. It's bad for everybody. So really a bad thing to do, to try to cheat on these exams, to use other people's wording. Don't think I won't be able to find the website that you're pulling from. I've been doing this for a long time. Just cite your sources. Cite your sources. And the best sources are the ones I give you in the class, the books and the articles I give you in the class. So if you can paraphrase the stuff in the books and articles I give you in the class, you'll be looking good. There's an essay in this course you'll have to turn in at the end of week 6. It'll be a 4-page essay. You'll have to write it on an argument that we've covered in this class. I'll talk more about that in a video in which I lay out my expectations. But just a 4-page paper, but I expect it to be dense with philosophical argument. If it's not, I cross out big sections of text as irrelevant. So don't think that because this is a philosophy class that you can just BS your way through a paper. I have very strict standards for the information that's included in the paper and how relevant it is, and I have a strict structure that I expect you to follow, and I lay that out in depth in the video. There will be quizzes throughout the course of the class. There'll be reading quizzes and post-lecture quizzes. Let's see what I say about that down here. So in the quizzes, so the reading quizzes, after each assigned reading, students must complete a reading quiz. After almost every reading, each reading quiz is a few questions worth 1 point each. Students will have one attempt to take the reading quiz. They are timed. You'll have 10 minutes to complete the questions. The reading quiz questions are multiple choice. You must complete the reading quiz to unlock the content module. No late quizzes will be allowed, and I won't reopen them for you. So make sure you've done the reading before you open those reading quizzes, and that you've done it with some care. I try to make the reading quiz questions very big picture questions from the chapter. So if you've done the reading, you should be able to answer them. But make sure you do the reading and you broadly understand the concepts before you open the reading quizzes. There will also be post-lecture quizzes. So for each reading, I post a video lecture. And in the video lecture, I, towards the end, I give you the post-lecture quiz questions and possible answers. So while you're watching my video lectures, you'll have to take notes about what the questions are and what your answer is. Because when you open the post-lecture quiz, the question prompt will just be, for example, what is the answer to quiz question number 1? A, B, or C? And if you haven't watched the lecture, you'll have no idea what the question is, nor what the possible answers are. So you have to take notes when you're listening to the video lectures to have any clue what's going on in the post-lecture quizzes. All right, finally, there is the participation part of the grade, and that's 60 points. Every week we'll have a discussion board that you'll have to participate in. I'll give you a prompt. You'll have to post something to the discussion board. You'll have to post your reply to the prompt before you see anybody else's replies. So you'll be sort of doing it in the dark, posting your thoughts on some prompt, and then you'll have to respond to somebody else's prompt, or somebody else's post. I'll give you instructions for both the prompt and for both your post and the reply to somebody else's post. Often the replies will be disagree with something that somebody else said. Now, the way we test ideas in philosophy is we see if objections take them down. So if you make a post and somebody else comes up with an objection saying, hey, there's this problem in your reasoning, don't worry about it. See if their problem with your reasoning is legitimate, and if it is, then either change your view, or if it's not legitimate, explain why it isn't, right? So there won't be, hopefully, any offense taken. In a philosophy class, we challenge each other's beliefs, and the way we do it is by throwing objections at each other and seeing if they stick. We do it in a polite way, but don't beat around the bush. Be very direct with your objections to each other's arguments and to my arguments if you have any objections to my arguments as well. All right, so for each discussion board, you'll get 10 points, about 5 for the post, about 5 for the replying to somebody else. And if you follow the instructions, no reason you shouldn't get full points or close to full points on those discussion boards. All right, that covers all of this. If you need some additional resources, you can find them here. Academic integrity is very important. I take it very seriously, especially in this ethics course. There are many ways that people, there are many things that are considered plagiarism that I have run across teaching ethics. I've run across people just copying verbatim websites and using it as their own words. That's easy to catch. I've run across people finding websites and running them through a thesaurus program and thinking that that's okay. That's not okay. And that's a little bit harder to catch, but I do. please, for your sake and my sake, make sure all your work is your own. Make sure the words you use are your own. Make sure the ideas you use are your own, or that you cite your source if they're not your own, even if you're just paraphrasing. That's all really important. I mean, if you cite your source, if you cite all your sources, the most I can say is, hey, there should have been more of your own words in here. But if you cite your sources, that's about the worst I can say. If you don't cite your sources, then we can have a big problem. You could end up getting a 0 on assignment. You can end up getting an F in the course. And you'll have uncomfortable conversations with the director of student activities, and I might be involved in those as well, and it's no good. So please read the college academic integrity policy and follow it. All right, here's some resources for you if you plan to go to campus at all. Writing Center, Health Services, Safe Space, etc. Okay, at the bottom of the syllabus, you'll find a week-by-week breakdown on what we'll be doing. Starting with this week, June 15th to June 21st, you have a bunch of assignments. You'll have to complete the welcome, online orientation, trolley problems, intro to arguments, and evaluating arguments, and chapter 1 modules. So what does that amount to? Let's see what that amounts to. Let's go up to the modules section. Click on the modules link. This is the one you'll be taken to first. So in the welcome module, you will find this video that I'm making right now. If you click on it, you'll see me doing this again. So you don't have to do that again. The online orientation module is here for your benefit. It is optional. It is ungraded. If you're familiar with how online classes work at BC, and you've done well in them, no need to do all this stuff. If you haven't, you might want to do it. It'll walk you through what you can expect from online courses, how to turn in assignments, etc. So you're already doing the welcome. The online orientation is optional. What you will have to do is this first module. Trolley problems, arguments, and chapter 1. There's a lot here. Let's see how many lectures. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 lectures that you have to watch this week. How many quizzes do you have to do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 lectures, 5 quizzes, and you have to do some reading. You have to read chapter 1. Here's the chapter 1 PDF for you, just in case you're trying to order a hard copy and it's late coming. So 4 lectures, 5 quizzes, 1 chapter to read. It's a lot to do in the first week, I know, but we only have 6 weeks. We've got to jump right into the content. So you will have to complete all of these. If you do not complete them, so if you don't complete the quizzes especially, then I will be dropping you from the class. There's also a discussion board. So let's recount this again. What did we have? 4 lectures, 5 quizzes, and a discussion board to participate in by the end of this week. So all of these assignments close Sunday evening at 11:59. That will be the case every week of this course. So there's too much here to just do in one day. If I were you, I'd break it up at least 2 days during the week. A normal summer class schedule, we meet 4 times a week. So the more days you can do this, the more it will be on your mind. Studies have shown when it comes to studying and when it comes to learning, the times that people learn best are right when they begin dealing with the subject in a day and right when they end dealing with it. So if you can maximize those beginnings and endings by having more sessions, the better, the more likely you are to take in this content. All right, so that's week 1. Week 2, we'll be doing So week 1 is a lot by way of intro to the topic. Week 2, we dive into some of the moral theories with utilitarianism and deontology. You'll see we'll have similar assignments, quizzes, lectures, a discussion board as well. In week 3, we'll be covering a topic, virtue ethics. We'll have a quiz on that. We'll also have a discussion board, which I haven't posted yet, and you'll have a test. You'll see that the online study guide is posted, will be published a week ahead of the test, and the test will also be published. You'll do it right in Canvas. Once you open it, you'll have an hour and a half to do it. Week 4, we're covering a few topics. Also in week 4, I have your final essay instructions. So I have your essay assignment as a document. I have the essay expectations lecture, which you should definitely watch. An example essay and where you can turn the essay in. That's all in week 4. That's easy to remember because it says final essay in the module title. Egoism and abortion is week 5, and then we'll talk about the moral status of non-human animals, and you'll have your final your test 2 in week 6. So a lot packed in this 6 weeks. I hope you're ready and you've set aside a bunch of time on multiple days per week to deal with this stuff. I think that's all I have to go over for this welcome video. If you have any questions, go ahead and shoot me an email. If you want to set up a meeting, send me an email and we'll get that process started. If you need additional resources, send an email to the DSPS office and we'll get that process started. But that's about it. I hope you enjoy the class content. I hope it's a nice distraction from some things that are unhappy realities in this world, but also we'll be engaging with some of those topics in this course. So I hope your understanding of this material is enriched, your understanding of the world through the material is enriched, and you have some fun, and we'll get through this together. All right, I'll see you next time.